Hey guys, welcome back to the United Star. We have Prasham with us today, and it's one of the most important games of the season, Prasham, don't you think? It defines how
Absolutely.
our UCL run will go, and we're here to talk about the PSG game, guys. That's going to happen on Wednesday night. But before that, Prasham, let's talk about the dynamics of the group. I mean, it's possible we may reach that special number 10 and still not qualify. So, what's your
Yeah.
take on how things are placed? Because from where I see it, if PSG don't beat United, they're more or less headed to Europa.
So if PSG don't beat United, then they're definitely headed to Europa, in my view, because Leipzig, I think, will definitely beat Istanbul. So the group is obviously there was a reason why we called it the group of death, right? Man United can finish first or fourth depending on how the results go. PSG can finish first or third depending on fourth, even how the results go. The same with Leipzig. So there are three teams that could possibly finish on the first place, and those three teams could also finish last the way results go. And I think it's quite clear as to the last year's finalists, PSG. I think they are in sort of some sort of pole position to go to that fourth place in that Europa place, third place. Actually, what I meant is that because for the simple reason is that Leipzig play Basaksehir right now, right? The next game is against Basaksehir. Once they take those 3 points, Leipzig face United in that last game. If PSG have dropped points, then it's all over for them. So I think the pressure that PSG go into with this game is quite high. And of course, they're coming to Old Trafford. So I think that sort of works in our favor as well. But yeah, as you said, this is an important game because we've been on top of this group since game week one, basically, right? And then if we fail to qualify, I think it would be very disappointing. And I do see that if we fail to get 1 point out of the next four, six that are available, I think that will be quite embarrassing for this group of players and also Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So I think this game is very important because I, as a United fan, do not want it to go to the last game against Leipzig where we need that point and we're not sure what's going to happen, and that can be a very tricky and dangerous position to be in because we'll be traveling, and one goal, early goal by them, couple of goals here and there, one mistake, anything can happen. So this is the game where we have to close it down. It's like a cricketing analogy. If you can finish it off in the second last over, you might as well do it because you don't know what happens in the last over. So we are in the final 2 overs, so to speak, and 1 point sort of does it for us. In my view, 1 point will do it for us, and just get the point, get it done with, and just focus. Then just move your focus to whatever in the Premier League.
Prasham, something that I was taking a look at. Obviously, we've spoken about the dynamics of the game and of the table, but before we get into lineups, I think the timing of the two matches is going to be very significant because Istanbul versus Leipzig happens before the PSG versus United game. So
Yeah,
if supposingly, like let's take a situation in which Istanbul managed to pull off a draw or a win against Leipzig, that makes United's chances way better. So do you see the result of that game having an impact on our game?
I don't think so. I think Leipzig will beat Basaksehir quite easily at that. I don't see. I think, see, I said it before in our preview against Basaksehir as well that they were going to get 1 point at some point. They were going to upset one of the teams. I think even a draw for them would have been an upset. They did one better and beat us. So they took 3 points. That's it. This always happens in a group of death where the team that is going to finish last always brings up some sort of a surprise by taking a point. Generally, it's a point, but this time they won. But fair play to them, they played well, whatever that was. But nah, I mean, if they get 4 points in this group, I mean, I think the happiest team out of the group, even if whoever qualifies first will be Istanbul, that'll be a job very well done in a group where you're with the last year's finalists, RB Leipzig, who's clearly a team on the up, and of course Manchester United.
Spot on. So let's straight jump into the starting 11s now. According to us, according to you, what's our starting 11 going to be like? Because there are a lot of shaky
So
contenders in there. Obviously, Tuanzebe can't play; he's suspended. De Gea's injured. Alex
good,
Telles
yeah.
had something of a knock, which is pretty unclear. So, what's your
Mm.
take on things right now?
So I think definitely Henderson will now have to start, and I hope he comes good. I mean, he needs to come good if he's being built up as this person who can actually replace De Gea. Henderson needs to come good. I think De Gea was building up some form, some momentum. It's unfortunate. The injury is very unfortunate. I don't think we have a timeline yet on when he might be back. But I think Hendo will start. Van Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, Van Bissaka. Oh, sorry, Teles has to be the back four. Uh, now is sort of the biggest question of the year, I guess. Who plays in that midfield? I think, of course, Bruno Fernandes is definitely going to play. There's no question. Alongside Bruno, whether we which two players or three players will play is the question. I wouldn't be surprised to see two center defensive mids play in this game, Fred and Matic, or if McTominay, I don't know whether he's yet fit to start. So Fred and Matic, I think, along with Bruno, and I think Martial will start this game with Rashford. I'm hoping Cavani starts through the middle and Martial and Rashford on either side, but he might go with a Mata or a Dan James, maybe Donny van de Beek on the right since he's having a good run of games. But my personal hope is Cavani through the middle, Martial through the left, and Rashford through the right.
I see where you're coming from, but I have a feeling we'll again go back to the three at the back for this game, just to, if we play the likes of Lindelof and Maguire, the full concept of our fan base saying we don't have the pace to, come back and win the ball against the likes of Neymar and Mbappe. I think we will need that third centre back, and this is where
But Vishesh,
I
who plays? Who
that's
plays as
that's
the
my
third
point.
center?
This is where I think Eric Bailly just comes in, survives 90 minutes and gets injured because we don't have any other centre back, right? Tuanzebe
But is
pulled off
Bailly fit?
the stuff.
I,
He's fit.
from what I understand, he's not fit to play
He's
90.
fit. Yeah, he's not fit to play 90, but if he can start the game and we can do well till the 70th minute, then you bring on the like of Matic or something like that, and play him also at the centre back and remove by. It is a slightly tricky situation that we're in because ideally we saw how Tuanzebe's pace helped us against Mbappe, right? We need someone with a similar stature to do the thing, and I think Eric Bailly comes closest, and it's too early for Tieran Mengi to come in there, and neither do we have the likes of Luke Shaw to be played as a centre back. So
Mm-hmm.
I would probably go for De Gea, Lindelof, Maguire,
Henderson,
Bailly.
yeah, won't.
So not De, yeah, sorry, Henderson, Lindelof, Maguire, Bailly, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Alex Telles, S- Matic, Fred, McTominay. No, Matic, Fred, Bruno, and Rashford and Cavani. I don't see Martial starting this thing. I think Cavani would have a certain point to prove against PSG,
PSG.
who just dropped him out like that. And he's in good form, so maybe play him for 60 and then bring on Martial.
I think Vishesh, I think the 3-5-2 might actually work, and I think the other thing is that there are five substitutions in the Champions League. So in case Bailly gets injured early on, if he can't continue, it's five substitutions. Might as well play him, get him off. You can change the formation back to 4-3, four
Yeah.
two three one, 4-3-3, whatever you want to do. That flexibility is there. The second, I think, I don't know if again he's not going to do this, but just if you want to play the 3-5-2, a variation could be if you want that person with pace and tackling, put Van Bissaka in the back three and put out Brandon Williams as right wing back with Teles as left wing back. I think that gives us a great attacking output. And Van Bissaka, I mean, his tackling is good. So if Mbappe is running at him, he probably will be able to stop him. So that's something to consider. But I personally don't think that he'll go for a 3-5-2, Vishesh. I think he does not trust Eric Bailly that much. I mean, that's become quite clear. And I don't think he trusts Brandon Williams as well. So in this big game, I think he'll try to pick his best starting 11.
I think the Aaron Wan-Bissaka point is really valid in this case because I think he would do great as a centre back. I think I've mentioned this once or twice before. But yeah, the likes of Eric Bailly and Brandon William has also fallen through the ranks slightly. But Prasham, let's get to our opponents. PSG, not in the best of form. You look, they lost to Monaco 3-2. They drew their last game 2-2. They just managed to beat Leipzig through a penalty 1-0. Um, what's your take on how they will come at us and who are their players to look out for? I mean, there are abundance
I
of
mean,
players, but if you had to pick one, who would that be?
for me, it's always going to be Mbappe. I know Neymar has all the skill and tricks in the book, and of course, he's one of the absolute talents that the game has seen. in all time, not just this generation. He's an absolutely generational footballer. But I feel Mbappe in the decisive moments, he's just a fantastic clutch player. He just comes through, and his decision making when it comes to taking a shot, when it comes to being one on one with a defender, he can really run players ragged. And he's one of those frustrating players to play against because he keeps coming at you. Now, having said that, of course, like you said, who are their threats? I mean, there's Neymar, there is an Icardi if they decide to start him, there is a Di Maria if they decide to play him. So it's a stacked team. Coming to their form, I mean, they haven't been in the best of forms, but like that's again the same thing. Like when you come up against a team like Man City, Liverpool, PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona, they have the kind of players who can change the game with a couple of touches, with a couple of in a couple of minutes, you suddenly the whole test looks completely different. So I think more than the form, it'll be their mindset because see now why I say mindset is because it comes down to this. Because if we get a draw, we'll be on 10 points. There's no way we can not qualify with that because PSG can get to a maximum of 10 then, and Leipzig can get to if they beat Basaksehir, they can get to 12. But if we get and they beat us, but if we get to 10, then we've won against PSG and drawn. So on the basis of that, in the Champions League head to head, we'll qualify. So a draw tomorrow or a draw against Leipzig basically definitely ensures us the passage through. So we don't need the 3 points. But that is the where the mindset comes in. If we set up to draw, if we play four people in our box plus the two midfielders just above our D, and we try to soak pressure for 90 minutes, PSG will definitely get a goal because it is that kind of a team. But the counter to that is that we are good on the counter. So if we do that, and if we get even one chance, and Cavani, Rashford, Martial, if they're able to put that chance away, then the entire scenario changes. So that mentality will be very important. If PSG are coming with a mentality to kill, then of course they have the resources to do that. If we play with the mentality to only sit and not do anything else, then we are going to concede at least one or two goals. It's about how many we can score. The key factor will be the battle between Dean Henderson and Mbappe because last game, if you remember, De Gea made some fantastic saves. He was the man of the match. Now, Dean Henderson is a very good goalkeeper, but he's played in the Champions League before. He didn't do that well. You could argue that he was dropped against Basaksehir almost because everyone thought he's going to start that game. So this game is crucial for him. There's a lot of pressure on him as well. I don't think it's pressure to prove himself as much as to others as it's to himself. Because he came famously has come out and said that he wanted to be number one at United or nothing. Now he's of course agreed to this compromise where he knows David De Gea is such a fantastic keeper that he can learn from him. But this is a big game for him, and I think that battle, the way it plays out, will be important. And the other thing is that Harry Maguire again has to put in a big shift. If Maguire is able to marshal that defense, then we're looking at a very different game. So let's see what happens. But these are the main threats. The only way to counter, like I said, is the counter. I don't, even though it's Old Trafford, I don't expect us to have more the possession than PSG. I think it'll be a game of few chances for us, and if we take those chances, we win. That is why I want Cavani to start. We saw what kind of a clinical finisher he is.
Prasham, you covered everything, but there's some stuff that I wanted to say. When we look at the PSG side that will line up against us, this time it can have the likes of Verratti and Marquinhos in the lineup. Last time they were missing through injury or whatever the case is. But I have a feeling that plays a big difference in the team that we played that time vis-a-vis the team that we're going to be playing this
You're
weekend.
completely right, Vishesh. I forgot about the fact that Verratti had plays football with the number of injuries he's had.
So,
Verratti is a
uh,
dangerous player.
so when we look at that, you're completely right with the fact that they have to come all guns blazing, right? If they don't, they're going to go to Europa if there's a draw or they lose. But I ideally see that playing into our hands because we're so good at the counter. If, as you said, if we have Cavani or confident Mason Greenwood up front or someone who's clinical in front of goal for those attacks, we have great pace to counter attack them. So that's why I think this game would be so exciting to see. Would probably see United soak up pressure and get that one chance to release the ball to the likes of Rashford or maybe Martial if he's playing, and then convert that. It's going to be a game where you get the opportunity and you have to convert.
Yeah. Vishesh, the weakest link in PSG's team is their defense. And we have to exploit that. That's the only thing I can say that if we want to win this game, we have to exploit that. I think we should play with the mindset of winning, even though as fans and players and as Ole also knows a draw will do. but we should play with the mindset of winning, because that's the only way you can eke out a point or even get the result finally.
If you step into a game against PSG thinking a draw is what you need, you've already lost the game according to me.
Yeah.
So Prasham, what's your take on the scoreline and player to watch out? You've already mentioned Dino and Maguire, but is it the same for the player to watch out from our end?
The player to watch out, Vishesh, it's simple, right? Our victory and our quality of performance is very closely intertwined with how Bruno Fernandes does. Whether we like it or not, he is our talisman, he's the creator, he's the finisher, he's everything right now. Whether we're willing to accept it or not, the fact of the matter is that it is him. With some support from Cavani, who is finishing, getting on the end of the balls, I think Bruno will become an even better and more imposing player on the opposition. So of course, Bruno has to have a good game for us to get any sort of points. And yeah, that's my player to watch out for. As per result goes, I have no clue, man. I don't know what to expect. I have a sneaky feeling we might get a win, but then there is a side of me which is fearing that they might come out so hard that we just get blown away. So I don't know what to expect from this game. I'm hoping that we just play some good football. We counter them in the tactical side, because I don't rate Thomas Tuchel as a great manager at all. So I don't know, Vishesh. I don't want to predict the scoreline. I'm just hoping we get that point we need, and then we can put this behind us.
I think I agree with you, Prashant. When we look at our side, if I had to pick that player out, it's Bruno who's running the game. 2 years ago, it was, oh, without Pogba, this side is nothing. Now it's without Bruno, this side is nothing.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think Bruno is going to be the player to watch out for, and that's where if we play the likes of Van de Beek, if PSG decide to double up on Bruno, Van de Beek becomes free. Those are the sort of combinations I like to see. But anyways, getting to what I think this is going to be a 2-1 to United. I think we can sneak it through. Even though this is set up for United to lose, win 4 games on a run, break records in the Premier League, and then lose. But I think we can win this game 2-1. I'm confident that the players will set out, and Ole always does it under pressure. We have to give him that.
But Vishesh, just one more thing before we wrap up. If we don't get a point here, remember the next game, of course, is West Ham. But after that, we play Leipzig and then City. So that's two back-to-back heavy games for us that we won't be able to rest players. We won't be able to rotate. We have to. Those two become must-wins. Obviously, we want to win a Manchester derby. I mean, that's a no-brainer. And obviously, we need to qualify for the next round. So yeah, this game we really need to point. We need to close it out so it doesn't get to that situation.
Exactly, Prashant, because this game is the first game of December, which is going to be a testing month. So I think this game impacts a full month, more or less. But guys, that's about it. Let us know what you think the scoreline will be. Will United qualify this week, next week, or will they not qualify? Let us know in the comments. Do like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching our video. If you do like it, please click on the thumbs up and please subscribe to our channel. Click on the bell icon to get daily notifications from the United Star. Follow us on Instagram at the.UnitedStar and we will see you soon.